Lieutenant, you lie to Poirot. You say that you were in the barracks by midnight. But Poirot has proved this to be false. At 1:45 in the morning, you were seen over 2 miles away in the company of the woman who died. General, this is not a murder, as is suggested by the Palestinian police. But I do believe that the lieutenant lied about his whereabouts, first out of panic, and then by sticking to this lie, by reinforcing it with lie after lie through weeks and weeks of deception. He has heaped suspicion and a deep shame on himself, his regiment, and his wife. General, the neck of this woman was not broken by the human hand, but by a fall. You see here where her neck is broken in not one, but 2 places. Put it down! Take the soldier!
Before I take my leave of you in Istanbul, monsieur, my commanding officer has once more asked me to impress upon you his thanks for solving our regimental difficulty. If I may speak out of turn, sir, I think it unjust that one mistake cost Lieutenant Morris so dearly. He was a good man who was involved in an accident.
Unjust?
He made an error of judgment. He was a good man.
Did not have to end in suicide.
I think he believed he had no choice.
No. A man like your friend, Lieutenant, always has choice. And it was his choice to lie that brought him into difficulty with the law.
Mr. Ratchet, sir. The details have arrived for the Italian property, sir.
Downstairs.
Very good, sir.
No one will see us here, John. Don't rush. What time is the train again?
Down here.
What time is it, John? We mustn't miss it.
It's 9 o'clock, don't worry.
No, don't. When it's all over, then. John? What's happening?
What's happening? Hey, leave this woman alone. What's happening here? She's pregnant with another man's child. The husband wants justice.
Welcome to the Totaclian, monsieur.
Merci. May I inquire if you have for me any messages?
You may, and you do, monsieur.
Merci. I'm so sorry, but I will have to cancel my reservation. I am called back to London, but immediately.
Of course.
And if you would be so kind as to book for me a passage tonight on the Orient Express.
Of course, sir.
Merci.
Leave that alone. Leave that alone.
If I needed assistance, boy, I'd have asked for it.
Hercule Poirot? Hercule Poirot, this is you. What are you doing in Istanbul?
Monsieur, I traveled from Palestine to London.
So, you will be traveling back on the Orient Express?
Wait, tonight?
So am I. I am the director of the line, you see.
Pardon. Of course, it's Monsieur Bou. Please, forgive me, now I remember.
Of course you do.
Monsieur, I am sorry, monsieur. This evening, the Calais coach on the Orient Express is fully booked.
Is it?
No, but I will travel tomorrow.
No. There will be a berth for you, Poirot. We keep things back. There is always room. It is my business, and you will be fine. He's with me, he's with me. Good evening. Nummer 8. Fraulein Schmidt, bitte.
Thank you.
And you are in number 14, Princesse Dragonov.
Merci, Michel.
Je vous en prie.
Hey, Michel! Ah,
Bonsoir, Monsieur Book.
it's such a pleasure to see you again. Ladies, I hear you are full up tonight.
Yeah, it's incredible. The train is fully booked. The whole world elects to travel tonight.
Well, this gentleman here is a personal friend, and he can have the number 16.
But the first class is fully booked, even what is held back. You're number 1, of course, but I'm afraid I
Sorry.
can help.
Good evening.
Thank you. Number 11, Miss Debenham.
Thank you.
Please. I'm Xavier Bouc, director of the line. C'est Hercule Poirot, tu sais. Le fameux Hercule Poirot, he is a famous man.
The Hercule Poirot?
Yes. And the company will not allow him to travel with the luggage.
Can I help you, madam?
Number 11?
That's down the far end.
Is it only me, or is it criminally hot in here?
I think it might just be you, madam. Would you mind if we kept it shut?
Has anyone seen who's trying to get on the train?
At Belgrade tomorrow, there will be an extra coach from Athens, which is likely to be half empty. Is that not so, Michel?
That is correct.
So I can move compartment then. The only problem is with tonight. Is there no second class berth free?
I will travel tomorrow. It is not a problem.
Am I not too late, am I?
No, madam.
It's just my connection was delayed because of snow on the Tourist Express. The snow is getting hard from the east, monsieur.
It's also new in berth 10.
Thank you. I always kiss my son Christopher. I kiss for you too, monsieur.
This Mr. Harris is not checked in.
In berth 7? No, not yet.
He's a friend of mine.
Well, it's too late, madam. The barrier will be
But
closed.
who are you to commandeer Mr. Harris's berth? I'm sure he'll be arriving very shortly. It's just a little delay.
Yes, I am the director of the Wagoni company, madam. That is just who I am.
Well, he's paid your company for a ticket, monsieur. That should be respected.
Absolutely, and he will be able to transfer it without extra cost.
Pardon, madame.
Sorry, Mrs. Hobbit.
This is a scandal. That's what it is.
No, a scandal would be if your friend were here and I didn't let him on.
In America, it would be considered as such.
Your settler, Mr. Ratchet.
Yes?
Monsieur McQueen.
What's going on?
This is Mr. Poirot. He'll be staying here tonight, and tomorrow he'll be moved to his own compartment.
Oh, no.
This is what has to happen, so this is what is happening. Monsieur?
Your suitcase is too big, isn't it?
No.
So I have to put it on the floor.
Monsieur McQueen, may Poirot rearrange some of your toiletries to make room for me?
If you must.
Merci.
Antonio Foscarelli,
Masterman.
speaking of the top bunk. Hope you don't mind.
Mr. Ratchet requests your attention, if you will.
I'll get there. Thank you. Paul. Pardon, monsieur. Oh, excusez-moi.
I've been calling you now for 10 minutes.
And I said I was coming, sir.
What's your name?
Why are you asking?
Well, Calais is 3 days away. Long trip. Is that all right? Does it work? My name's Ratchet.
Mr. Ratchet.
Are you all right, mademoiselle?
Yes. Yes, I'm fine, thank you.
Hercule Poirot.
Mary Debenham. I've been teaching in Persia. I'm on my way home.
I saw you this afternoon in the streets of Istanbul.
You saw that?
Why? Well, you are not too distressed by what happened, I hope?
Yes, of course I am. In distress, I could do nothing to help. Aren't you?
Oh, yeah, bien sûr, but justice is often upsetting to witness.
Justice?
It's like the gallows in England, no? But in another culture, it is best not to intervene.
The woman was adulterous. She had not killed anyone.
No, but she had broken the rules and she knew what that would mean.
What is it you do, monsieur? If you don't mind me asking.
S'il vous plaît. I also found it upsetting, huh? It is not pleasant. I am a detective, Mademoiselle Lawson.
In the police?
No, private. Private detective. Hercule Poirot?
Very good. Very good.
you, sir.
Shut the door. I need to know the people on this carriage. Whatever you know about them. Where they're going, where they're from.
I'm sorry, sir, but company policy...
Shut up! What you know about them, boy?
Yes, of course. Madame, your change.
No. What's this? What's a drachma? Apart from a way of clearing your throat. My daughter, who...
Poirot. No. Come here, my friend. Please. It's the director's table, you know.
The country changes, you won't be able to spend any of it.
Please. This is a Greek fellow called Constantine. How do you do? And he's, what are you again?
I'm a doctor, an obstetrician.
That's right.
I've been in Ankara, and now I go back to America.
Hercule Poirot.
Monsieur Poirot, how would you like your eggs?
Two boiled and exactly the same size, s'il vous plaît.
We are playing a game, Poirot, and you like this. Where? Apart from my train, my transcontinental train, would you find Hungarian diplomats, Count and Countess Andrade, wealthy American businessmen. Don't look, it's rude. A Russian princess, being looked after every step of the way by her maidservant.
Please, which is made with parsley and no more cooked than 30 seconds.
Italian bachelors.
Monsieur Poirot.
Young missionary women from Scandinavia.
Merci.
Des Belges. English stiff people. All nations, all classes, and everything that goes in between, eating and sleeping under one roof.
Alors, Poirot, he would suggest America.
Absolutely. The great melting pot. It took Constantine 4 guesses, and even then, I had to tell him the answer.
That is not true, monsieur.
Michel, champagne. And he lives there. Champagne for everyone, with compliments of the Wagonnet company. Ladies and gentlemen, please have a safe journey and to your good health.
Do you believe in God, Mr. Poirot? I never used to, but I do now. I think he's like an extra gun, an extra piece of protection. And I think we all need some extra protection sometimes, don't we? You're gonna take a job on for me.
Why do you need protecting on this train?
Because there are people who know where I am, what I'm doing.
What is that?
Penance. I need to give something back before I'm forgiven. But I could be killed before I do it.
By whom?
I'm a rich man, Mr. Poirot. I have enemies. But I need to get to Calais. You start now.
No.
monsieur.
Is this for great, monsieur?
Yes, it is. It is also very cold. And I think I will get back on the train if I may.
Oh, I thought you were getting off here.
No.
Dragma! You saw the conductor moving your valise.
Yes, because from tonight I have my own compartment.
Monsieur Poirot, compartment number 1 is not ready for you, sir.
Merci, Michel. Merci.
Did you leave this on my bed? Did you leave this on my bed?
No, sir. What is it?
What it is of no importance. Did you leave this compartment unlocked or unattended at any time today?
No, sir.
No, sir. Neither of you are going to take any responsibility for this. Neither of you were aware that anyone was trying to break into my compartment today. So what do I pay you? Get out. McQueen? Get out.
Was it another threatening note?
Of course it was.
Is there a problem?
No.
Mr. McQueen, would you like a drink?
Yes. I could do with a drink.
Seigneur, je te remercie de m'avoir créé et de m'avoir accueilli dans l'Église catholique.
Pardon me for all evil I have done this day.
Et si je fais de bien, daigne en recevoir l'offrande que je t'offre.
Watch over me while I take my rest. And deliver me from danger.
Mr. Ratchet? Mr. Ratchet, is everything all right?
Ce n'est rien. Je me suis trompé.
frightened. He was standing there. He was looking at me as I lay in bed. He was hovering over me like the angel of death.
Mrs. Hubbard.
Oh, don't Mrs. Hubbard me, you French person. You.
Mrs. Hubbard, I assure you, no one was in your compartment.
How do you know that? Were you here?
Yes, Mrs. Hubbard. Good night.
Michel, another bottle of mineral water, s'il vous plaît. Bien sûr. And Michel, is everything all right?
It's Mrs. Hubbard. She's a fantasist. She thinks men are after her. Blind men, if you ask me.
And Michel? The train, it does not move.
Oh, no. We have hit a snowdrift. Once we were stranded for 9 days. But hopefully not this time, not for us.
Ouais.
Do you know where we are?
Monsieur Poirot, are you there?
1 minute, if you please.
Monsieur Poirot, please.
1 minute, if you please.
You must come. Please, sir, I said 1 minute.
You must come now.
Please.
I thought we would need a doctor as well, sir.
I brought him his pick-me-up, sir, at the usual time, but when he failed to respond, I became concerned.
Has anything been touched?
No. Michel, has anything been touched?
No, monsieur.
Doctor.
Well, we are in Yugoslavia, and this is not a good place to have a problem. This is the backside of Europe. This is the Wild West. And have a carriage full of civilized, intelligent, beautiful people who spend money and who will not want to be delayed here by a brutal police. And they will delay them. Forever.
He has been stabbed, maybe 15 times, in a frenzy.
This is a disaster.
So how long has he been dead?
Maybe 7 or 8 hours, so 12, 1 o'clock. If the door was bolted, then that is how the killer must have left.
Well, on behalf of the Wagonly Company, please, sort this out for me.
It should be left to the authorities.
No. No. The police here, they will not be in your class. When we get to Broad, let the world-famous detective, the genius, tell the police what happened. And there will be minimum delay, because no one is going to want to travel on my train when they hear they'll get murdered in their bed. It's my business.
Are all the passengers present this morning?
Merci. Vraiment, merci. Michel, are all the passengers at breakfast?
Pas encore, monsieur.
Not yet, sir.
And he's probably right in assuming that the Calais coach at night it is made secure.
Oh, yes, sir, we absolutely. There is no way anyone could have got through to this coach from another part of the train.
Good. Well, keep it locked. No one in and no one out. The time we will stop at the snowdrift was what?
2 o'clock.
Because the murderer, he did not leave by this window as they hope to suggest.
How do you know?
Because there are no marks in the snow. So the murderer must still be with us, gentlemen, on the train. Now.
Princess Dragomirov? All the passengers have been summoned into the lounge car, if you please. Immediately.
Monsieur Bouc, I wish to make a complaint.
I will be of assistance to you in the lounge car, but not here, madame.
I don't want assistance. I want to kick someone up the ass. How long are we going to be stuck here?
Until a snowplow arrives, digs us out, and I have no idea yet when that will be.
Only God knows that answer.
Oh, I wish he'd stop keeping it to himself.
20-1, as I thought.
You said there are 15 stab wounds, Dr. Constantine?
Yes.
Well, Poirot can count only 12, unless there are some others on his back?
No. So, the murderer must have crept in, yes, and stabbed with all his might.
You are not a police surgeon, are you? No. What are you? You are...
An obstetrician.
Bon. You see, some of these are just scratches delivered with little force, huh? But here and here, delivered with strength, these are the ones who killed him, Doctor.
Princess Dragomirov, please!
My lady is not dressed, monsieur.
I apologize, but you must come to the lounge car now, Princess.
What is the problem, monsieur?
I'm waiting for you outside. Oh.
If I stand here as the murderer, I find the wounds. Some of them, they have an angle that is suited to my right hand. So, but others, you see, impossible. They need my left. We have a left. We have a right. We have a weak and we have a strong. So is Ratchet trying to tell us that he was murdered by 2 people? He knew he was vulnerable. He knew he had to be on his guard. Voila.
Please sit down. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I have to tell you that last night, one of your fellow passengers, Mr. Ratchet, was murdered.
Murdered?
Yes. The detective Hercule Poirot believes that the murderer is still on the train with us. So, please, we have sealed the Calais coach and we request you do not try to leave. Of course, Monsieur Poirot will be wanting to interview you all.
How is he murdered?
With a knife.
And what is that? Huh? The letter H? Well, maybe Poirot believes this. In the ash, you see, the flat matches. And here there is the flat match of Ratchet, but here is a match made of wood and a piece of paper that is burned.
So
perhaps Poirot, he is correct when he suggests that the match made of wood, it was struck by someone else, and the piece of paper was burned because it was in some way incriminating.
Why do we have to stay in this car?
but I don't know.
Ladies and gentlemen, Monsieur Poirot would like one of you ladies to lend him a hat box.
Merci.
My old grandfather had one of these for the wax mustache also.
This piece of paper that is burned is indeed incriminating. And I'm going to try to resurrect what was written on it. Easy arms.
What does it mean? AC? Easy?
Easy arms.
Merci.
I think it's nonsense, isn't it? Poirot. It doesn't mean anything.
I do not know yet.
Poirot. Changed, and this one is special.
Here are the passengers' passports requested, monsieur.
Merci, Michel. Oh, Michel, if you please to remain and talk to me about last night.
Hey, don't worry, sit down. Poirot, Michel is not involved. Since his wife died, he is married to the company. He is our hardest worker.
Michel, your wife, how did she die?
Out of grief. My daughter died and my wife followed.
When was this, Michel?
Well, it wasn't last night, was it? Leave the poor man alone. It was a few years ago.
Tell us of last night, Michel.
Well, we stopped at Vinkovci a little late, 11:45.
Did you get off the train?
Yes, for a chat, but it was so cold, I didn't stay.
Did anyone else get off the train from the Calais coach?
Yes. Mr. McQueen and Colonel Arbuthnot. But again, they do not hang around. And afterwards, they were talking politics in the colonel's compartment until 2 in the morning. And then Mr. Ratchet cried out at about 12:30.
Ce n'est rien. Je me suis trompé.
I really thought he was just having a nightmare. And then 2:15, Mrs. Hubbard.
He was hovering over me like the angel of death.
You remember, monsieur?
Yes, of course. Michel, did you see later a woman in a red kimono?
Oh, yes. At maybe 2:30. I didn't see who she was because she was walking away from me.
And from which compartment had she come?
I didn't see.
Well, she did not perhaps return from, what, the toilet?
No.
Merci.
Merci, Michel. And next time you request a transfer to the Calais coach, I'm sure it won't be so dramatic.
For this trip, you request a transfer?
A former colleague of mine lives in Calais. I was to visit him.
Yes, Michel normally does the Paris coach.
Bien.
Monsieur.
Did you like your employer?
Oh, I do not find it necessary to like an employer.
Oh, but I do. Did you know that he offered to me a job? And I did not like him. Was he, in your opinion, a gentleman?
Nothing of the kind. But he had money. Put a sewer rat in a suit, and he's still a sewer rat. He's just in a suit.
Hey, alors, last night you shared your compartment with Signor Foscarelli. And, did you stay there all night?
I read until 4 in the morning.
Because it was a good book, huh?
Because of toothache.
So, you know for a fact that Signor Foscarelli, he did not leave the compartment either last night?
No. He snored.
Does this mean anything to you?
Is it an arms firm? Was he an arms dealer? Or?
Oh, I don't know the name of that firm.
Well, I met Mr. Ratchet when I was on my uppers in Iraq. We call it now, don't we? He needed a personal assistant who was good with languages, which I am, and he paid well.
And he could not speak the languages?
Not a word. A little pigeon Italian, which even Italian pigeons would have found hard to understand.
And where in America was his home?
He never spoke of it. He was thinking of buying in Napoli, but well, I don't know whether he'd have been allowed to go there.
Allowed?
I don't delude myself by thinking Mr. Ratchet was not on the run from something dark in America, that he wasn't trying to buy his way back into society. He didn't know that I kept these, or that I knew we were going to Calais to pay that money back.
To whom?
Underworld, Mafia. But they've set him up, haven't they? Smoked him out onto the train with the money and settled his debts in the night.
How much was in the suitcase?
Over $200,000. I stayed in his employment because I needed money to get home.
The name Ratchet, it is an alias. If you please to follow me. $200,000 a penance, he told to me. Something dark in America, from where he is ostracized. Huh? And $200,000 blood money, for which he had to atone.
Don't worry.
This is not Samuel Ratchet. This is Lanfranco Cassetti, who for $200,000 kidnapped so notoriously from the home of her parents in Long Island, New York, the young child, Daisy Armstrong. This devil came for her. Someone in the house tried to stop him, but they were hurt very badly. Her parents paid the ransom money, but young Daisy Armstrong, she never returned home. She had died lonely, scared, at the hands of Cassetti. Less than 1 hour after he took her. And after this discovery so terrible, Sonia Armstrong went into premature labor with the second baby she was carrying, and well, this baby did not live. And neither did she. Colonel Armstrong, his heart now broken beyond repair, could not bring himself to face another morning. So 4 deaths at the hands of Cassetti. Mais non, pardon, 5. Because the housemaid, who was French, I think, and whom the police were convinced had knowledge of this crime, but was innocent, had also taken her own life in the police cell. Cassetti was arrested. But his mafia family in Chicago had the prosecutors and judges in their pockets, and evidence it was misplaced. And Cassetti, he walked away free.
Excuse me, but isn't anyone going to interview me about the events of last night? I happen to have seen the murder.
Quoi? Ladies and gentlemen, please. Oh, first, I really want to apologize for the lights, but we are seeing to it now. In the meantime, a scarlet negligee is key to solving the murder.
Negligee?
So I will need all your suitcase keys, please.
Poirot has just identified Samuel Ratchet as Lanfranco Cassetti.
Yes. Yes, that's right. The notorious murder.
And I don't know what to do.
What do you mean, Mr. McQueen?
My father was the DA in the Cassetti case. He was the prosecutor. There is a link now between my name, McQueen, and the murder. It's only a matter of time before Poirot remembers this from the papers. He has an encyclopedic knowledge of Cassetti's crime.
So, you knew Cassetti?
But you didn't recognize him when you worked for him, did you?
And the detective is going to believe that?
It is the truth. Is that not right, Monsieur Bouc?
Oh, yes. Yes, absolutely right. Poirot is all about the truth.
I was lying there. Lie here like me, Dr. Constantine. Lie down. Yes. Now open your eyes. He was standing here, a dark figure, 2:15 in the morning.
Could you make out his face?
I couldn't.
Then how do you know it was a man?
If you've lived the life I have, Inspector, you know when there's a man in your bedroom. Do you know what I'm getting at, Doctor?
Yes, I do.
What happened next?
I closed my eyes and pressed for the conductor.
And your visitor, where did he go?
He went back through here.
Madame, why is it that you had not bolted the door between your compartments?
I had.
Madame Howard, in your life in America, were you acquainted with the family of the young Daisy Armstrong?
I'd heard of their tragedy, of course, but they were of the highest society, and I am not.
This man is the man who murdered Daisy Armstrong.
Wow. If I'd known that, then like any American mother, I'd have ripped the bastard's heart out. Pardon my French.
It is indeed a French word.
What's this? It's a button. From a conductor's uniform. What is it doing here? If Michel is not missing a button, then it must...
certainly wasn't here yesterday.
Well, then it must be the assassins, surely. Maybe he could have got out at Vinkovci. Yes, disguised as a conductor. Then into Mrs. Hubbard's compartment with a stolen pass key and left in the kimono.
He got all this from a button.
Well, we know Cassetti was alive at 12:30 because he called out to Michel, "Ce n'est rien."
No. Monsieur Cassetti, he could not speak French, which is why Monsieur McQueen worked for him.
Brilliant, monsieur. So that must have been the voice of the assassin, which fits with the watch and the time of death.
No, but there were at least two murderers.
Well, he could have just stabbed like a crazy man. Left hand, right hand. It is all coming together in my mind.
I'm very pleased for you, monsieur.
This is the mafia for sure. The knife, it is the Italian way. They want the money, and there will be a thing about revenge for some reason.
It makes sense.
Of course it does. Let me ask you something. Who is Italian on this train? Who has been in America? Huh? Signor Foscarelli.
So you share with Mademoiselle Debenham in berths 10 and 11?
Yeah. That English woman does not pray. I prayed. She needs to pray.
Neither of you left the compartment last night.
No.
You have been to America?
Yeah. America. That is right.
To work?
To speak for Jesus. To raise funds for the mission in India.
Of course.
To help the children.
Well, the money, it has either been spent, which I can assure you it hasn't, or it's not on
S'il vous plaît, mademoiselle, you are Catholic?
Oh, no. I prayed for Catholics because they have it all wrong, don't they?
Miss Olsen.
In what way?
The Catholic penance and forgiveness is false, isn't it, Monsieur Poirot?
Because there are certain things that God will never forgive?
Yeah?
Like when you violate his law?
Yeah.
Violence against children?
Violence against the children. This man who is dead. Maybe God came last night on this train and refused to forgive.
You have been religious a long time.
I saw Jesus, who protects me now, as I protect the children. Five years ago. 5 years I have been with him.
And I'm sure he's enjoyed every moment. Well, no money, no satin negligee.
Kimono.
Unless the Princess Dragomirov wears negligee, which I think unlikely. Don't you, Doctor?
I do.
Kimono.
Have you seen the outfit she's wearing today? It's enormous. She waddles down the corridor like the battleship Bismarck. Well, however, I know who did the murder. This Cassetti trial, it must have brought the press, the FBI, down heavily on the mafia, hurt their interest, which they hate. So they put one of them on the train, give him a knife, and get payback. Signor Foscari.
Well, how unfortunate then that the English valet has the toothache and knows that Signor Foscarelli did not leave his compartment all night.
On the night of the murder, monsieur, my maid read to me until 11 o'clock.
And you slept through till the morning?
No. At 20 to 1, I rang for the conductor to call Fräulein Schmidt, as I had not settled. And I requested a massage.
Ah, oui.
I left her asleep at 2:30. I gave my lady a massage and read more Goethe.
You did not hear anything untoward in the carriage?
That is correct.
Princess Dragomirov, were you acquainted with the family of Daisy Armstrong?
Yes.
My lady.
Hildegard, please, leave. I stayed many times at the Armstrong house on Long Island, as I was privileged to be the godmother of Daisy's mother, Sonia. Sonia was the daughter of the great tragic actress Linda Arden, of whom I had been an admirer for many decades.
If my memory is correct, wait, Linda Arden, it was a stage name? Well, taken from the Shakespeare. So what was her actual name?
The name was Waterston.
Yes, I am remembering now. When Linda Arden, she had two daughters, Sonia Armstrong, and also a younger daughter?
You are correct.
Do you know what happened to this younger daughter?
She married someone somewhere. I do not know what happened to her.
You know it is Lanfranco Cassetti who has been murdered.
Monsieur, if I had recognized that man, do you know what I should have liked to have done? I should have liked to have called my servants, flog this man to death, and throw him on the rubbish heap. That is what was done with such a man when I was young, monsieur. Make no mistake. I would have stabbed him as he slept and been proud to confess.
Monsieur?
Poirot, you think she did it?
No, that woman was frail. She would not have the strength to stab so.
Signor Foscarelli, I hear talk of the mafia being responsible.
Yes, that's true.
I was talking to the gentleman. Monsieur, not all Italian Americans are mafia. Most of us spit 'em. Now, I'm in the motor trade. I'm a good salesman, but it's hard to be trusted when you're Italian. Men like Cassetti, they make people hate us. Sorry, if these gangsters are involved, do not mess with them. Understand me? For they are ruthless to anyone who crosses them, and you are no exception. You understand that?
Hey, is that a threat?
It is advice, Monsieur.
Merci.
Come in.
How dare you pretend, Monsieur Poirot?
The water. The water is not working.
I wasn't threatening anybody.
What is happening?
Fräulein Schmidt, does this belong to your lady?
No. She's Natalia. It's her style, but not her initial.
Merci. And tell me, if you please, were you also the frequent visitor to the Armstrong house in Long Island?
Yes. No. I knew the Long Island home, but I've worked at an adjacent property, another family. That was how I met my lady.
And you are a good cook, huh?
Yes. All my ladies have said that.
Bon.
No. I'm a maid.
Forgive me, but you appear to be more expert in the food.
Please, which is made with parsley and no more cooked than 30 seconds.
No, I'm a lady's maid. The reason I'm so nervous, monsieur, and get things wrong is that I saw the murderer. I saw him with my eyes when I finished my lady's massage. I came out of the compartment and passed a lady in a kimono, but she had a man's face.
I also saw her, and, well, she looked like a woman from the back.
No, a man. Yeah.
So, when did you see him? Because I did not notice you when I saw him.
At 2:30.
And can you describe him?
He was small, round, and dark. And when I heard his voice as he said, "Pardon," it was a woman's voice, weak like a woman.
Merci.
Plus rien du tout?
Rien du tout. Si on fait pas de feu ou si la locomotive avance pas, la dynamo est foutue. Et d'ici à demain matin, ça repartira pas.
There is no power at all. And it will be -9 degrees tonight. And they cannot get here with the plow until the morning.
What are you doing?
How will you cook food? Hey, how will we stay warm?
All his buttons are here and sewn with old thread, so this button must have come from a second uniform, Poirot.
Well, so, who do you want me to call now? Miss Debenham?
No. Not Mademoiselle Debenham. Not yet. Last night, Count Androni, I saw you and your wife trying to disembark at Belgrade.
My wife can be claustrophobic. It is difficult for her on the train.
Est-ce que vous avez subi une crise pendant la nuit, Comtesse?
No. Last night she took a draught of Trianel. My word of honor.
I did not question your honor.
I am afraid, Poirot, neither of us can be of use to you in this sad investigation.
N'êtes-vous jamais allé en Amérique, Comtesse?
Non, monsieur.
N'est pas lorsque votre mari a été en poste à Washington?
Nous ne sommes mariés que depuis un an.
I spent 2 years in Washington at a posting to the embassy.
You were there 5 years ago, I see.
Yes. I remember the Armstrong murder in the papers, if that's what you're alluding to.
So the spot of grease is a result of an official who was careless, huh? Vous voulez bien m'écrire votre nom? Quel-t-il figure sur votre passeport?
Why does she have to write her name?
S'il vous plaît, as it appears on the passport. Merci. Ce n'est donc pas vous qui l'avez perdu, hein?
Non. C'est joli, mais non.
Doctor, what is the latest?
The German maid said she saw the murderer. Gave Poirot a description.
Why have you not yet questioned me, monsieur?
Mademoiselle Debenham, why do you and Colonel Arbuthnot pretend not to know each other when it was quite clear in Istanbul that you were intimate?
No, don't. When it's all over, then.
When what was all over, huh? Hmm? What?
I'm not at liberty to say.
Oh, liberty. Mademoiselle, you will give me a good answer. Oh, when the Yugoslav police arrive, you will not be at liberty. Now, give me an answer.
Steady on, Poirot.
I am not at liberty to tell you.
Mademoiselle, do not cross me. A murder has been committed, and I have seen you behaving suspiciously both before and after the crime took place.
You leave her alone.
John.
Sir.
Teddy, sit down.
Colonel Arbuthnot, maybe you can explain what was meant by her words.
I met Miss Debenham in Baghdad. She was the governess in a house of an AOC, a friend of mine.
And you fell in love?
Yes.
What is it with these men who go around falling in love with the staff?
Will you shut up?
Why the secrecy?
I am currently suing my unfaithful wife of 20 years for divorce. In English law, if she sees me with another woman, then she can sue me. I can't believe I'm telling you people this. If that happens, I will lose my house, my reputation, my commission. When it's all over, Miss Debenham said, when the divorce is all over, when that is behind us.
Colonel, in all your years of service, did you know Colonel Armstrong, father to the young Daisy Armstrong?
By reputation, yes. He was a fine man. Military Cross. Passchendaele. You listen, Poirot. By all accounts, this man deserved to die last night. But I would have been happier if he'd been convicted by a jury.
I see. 12 good men and true?
The civilized way.
I've moved the little gas stove from the galley to the lounge and, well, I propose we should stay there for the night.
Bon. Gather them all there. Monsieur Bouc, I have been thinking of the theory of Dr. Constantine, of the assassin who got on disguised as a conductor.
Yes, I think of it, yes.
And the uniform of his conductor must have been discarded somewhere.
Of course,
and Poirot,
yes.
He thinks he knows where. It must be amongst the possessions of the one person it could not possibly be. The witness who says she saw the assassin. Fraulein Schmidt. Do you have the button he lost?
Oh, Yes, please.
Bon, please to keep watch.
Lol, kokashita en kon, daar kommer trivatrismen. Besan lol, kokashita en kon, daar kommer trivatrismen.
Monsieur, I found this in my sponge bag.
It's certainly the kind of knife that would have made the wounds.
He must have hidden it in my sponge bag when he passed through my compartment.
That must be the case.
I think it proper to save my conclusions for the police at Broad.
But when I sleep, I see his face. I can't keep his face out of my mind. Mary, please.
It's all right. She sees the face of the man she saw last night. The murderer. Full of anger. Like he wants to kill you.
It's his face.
Was he still wearing his red kimono? Oh, this murder, it would have been perfect, huh? If it had not been for the snowdrift. Is that not so, Frau Schmidt? I think that there are two solutions to this murder. In the first, the mafia assassin gets on the train of Vinkovci, offered Broad with the money, Cassidy killed. But one or two of you notice a different conductor in the corridor, notify the police. But the assassin would have gone. Vanished. But because of the delay, there had to be an improvisation. And so a second solution proposes itself to me. Elena Wasserstein. With a careless smudge on Elena.
Oui. C'est bien mon nom.
Enough, huh? Because maybe Poirot should not be looking at your first name, but your second. Countess Wasserstein.
Waterston.
The family name to Sonia Armstrong and her younger sister, Helena.
My wife does not understand English. We used.
Let's stop this right now.
Yes, let us stop this.
You had the handkerchief with an H. That would have pointed to me, and you would have found my connection to Daisy.
Your niece.
My sweet niece.
This girl hasn't done anything wrong.
You know nothing, monsieur. You don't touch her.
Shall I tell you what I know? Huh, Mademoiselle Debenham? Shall I know because Fraulein Schmidt told me that the Christian name of Princess Dragomirov is...
She's Natalia.
And this is not so, Princess, that in the Russian alphabet the capital letter N is written like the Western letter H. So I know that there is more than just one connection with Daisy Armstrong on this train. The godmother, the aunt. And the son to the prosecutor, who Poirot remembers from the papers, ended his career in shame because he rigged the trial.
Cassetti's connections threatened to kill me. His son. If he didn't do what they asked, well, what was he supposed to do?
He was supposed to have ensured that justice was done in an open court, monsieur.
This girl did not murder that man.
Not in a frenzy, no. This was a cold crime, was it not, Mademoiselle Debenham? One long in the planning. But it was you, Monsieur Bouc, who first suggested to Poirot that only in America could such a society as this all be found together. But maybe also in the house of a rich man in Long Island. Because... here we have the cook. And that is Fraulein Schmidt, is it not so, Michel? And next to her is your daughter, the French housemaid, Mademoiselle Françoise, who fell under the suspicion of the police for her complicity in the death of Daisy Armstrong, but who actually was innocent, and committed suicide. Signor Foscarelli, what were you? The chauffeur?
The chauffeur.
And also the lover to Mademoiselle Françoise.
All she did was talk to a stranger in a shop. She let slip some details about the house. What time the nursemaid took off. She didn't know she was talking to a man like Cassetti.
Yes, and all this in 1933, 5 years ago. How long have you been with Jesus, Mademoiselle Ulrison?
5 years I have been with him.
So Poirot, he suspects that you were that nursemaid.
Some crimes God does not forgive.
And you, Mademoiselle Debenham, the professional governess, with paralysis down one side of your body, how, I wonder, could you possibly have sustained such an injury? At first I thought that you was your masterman. You were the butler to the Armstrong household, but no. Then I observed how familiar the Colonel Arbuthnot was with you. And now I believed you served together in the army, alongside the Colonel Armstrong.
Teddy was his Batman throughout the war.
He was the best of gentlemen.
And he was my closest friend.
And then Linda Arden, so famous. But there was a danger of you being recognized if you were to board the train as yourself. Huh? God, you even fooled Poirot. 12 people and 12 wounds in the body of Cassetti.
12 members of a jury.
But I do believe that the Count Andreny was a man of honor.
And his wife had been protected and was not involved in the killing and took her Trianol, as he had said.
That's correct.
So who then was the 12th, huh? Could he possibly be the man who tried to deflect Poirot at every turn, huh?
That is how the killer must have left.
The obstetrician from America, who Poirot suspects counted among his clients, a family on Long Island, and who he watched, how they suffered.
We have Miss Debenham to thank for our plan. It was her fortitude that brought us all together and channeled our determination. The plan had great beauty. Cassetti's whiskey was drugged so that he was awake, but could not react to anything. We needed him to know of his execution.
Mr. Ratchet. Mr. Ratchet, is everything all right?
Ce n'est rien. Je me suis trompé.
After you had heard that, all we needed was for you to go to sleep, Monsieur Poirot. I could tell you who we are, but all you need to know is that the people that you killed are all in heaven, Mr. Cassetti, while you are going to hell. That baby must have been so scared when you killed her. Did you not think that we would not search the world to get justice for those good people that we loved? Business of this trip. The berth bought for Mr. Harris. So no outsider bought it. The red kimono. The watch. All of it a farce. Was it not, Linda Arden, to make the mockery of Poirot?
You were our first piece of bad luck. And then the snow, which meant we couldn't get to Broad.
But how will the assassin leave the carriage?
Just through the window.
Yes. Yes, he could have tried to go through my room, and I've woken up and he's had to come back in here.
You people! With your kangaroo jury, your kangaroo justice. You have no right to take the law into your own hands!
Monsieur Poirot, she was 5 years old!
We were good, civilized people, and then evil got over the wall, and we looked to the law for justice. And the law let us down.
No, you behave like this and we become just savages
in the street. Where juries and executioners, they elect themselves. No, it is medieval. The rule of law, it must be held high. And if it falls, you pick it up and hold it even higher. For all society, all civilized people will have nothing to shelter them if it is destroyed.
There's a higher justice than the rule of law, monsieur.
Then you let God administer it, not you!
And when he doesn't, when he creates a hell on earth for those wronged, when priests who are supposed to act in his name forgive what must never be forgiven. Jesus said, let those without sin throw the first stone.
Oui.
Well, we were without sin, monsieur. I was without sin.
When we get to Broad, if we ever get to Broad, let these good people go, monsieur. Hand me over to the police. My world is gone. Let these people live.
The worst kind of murderer, Poirot.
Monsieur.
The devil incarnate. Can't stand here and defend him to us.
You're as bad as a crook in the courthouse, sir.
Lock the door.
It is true, monsieur. You can tell these people are good people. That Cassetti, he deserved to be executed for what he did, and the world knows it was a prophecy that he was not!
Lock the door.
We can present the conductor's uniform to the police in Prague and let these people go free.
No!
What are you doing? I can't be seen here. I won't be seen here.
Colonel.
We have assigned one murder to the assassin. We can assign two more.
We are not murderers, Colonel.
Open the door.
Killing Cassetti was God's locker now.
Open the door.
Kill him, John. You're no better than Cassetti.
Get out of my way!
No! No! No.
If we kill them, we will have become like gangsters. Just protecting ourselves. God knows how hard it will be to carry Cassetti's murder through our lives. But how unconscionable will it be to carry murders that are wrong? I'm proud of you, John. I'm proud of you for getting justice for your friend, and I love you. I love you. But we don't do what is wrong, my darling. We don't do what is wrong.
Monsieur, may I come through?
Of course.
I have some tea. I take it to him.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Can I ask if there will be police arriving with the snowplow?
Yes. They will be there, yes.
Princess Dragomirov is making everyone tea on the stove. One thing you didn't solve was where we hid the money we were going to give back to the Armstrong Trust.
much weight from one day to the next. To have been so well insulated would have been useful last night.
You said of the woman in Istanbul that she knew the rules of her culture and knew what breaking them would mean. So did Cassetti.
And so do you.
When you've been denied justice, you are incomplete. It feels that God has abandoned you in a stark place. I asked God. I think we all did what we should do, and he said, do what is right. And I thought if I did, it would make me complete again.
And are you?
But I did what was right.
Si vous voulez bien me suivre, venez par ici.
The name of the captain is?
Johnny Jack, sir.
Merci. Captain Donovan Jack. As you know, we have had this. I have here the uniform, Captain.